The Republican Party and conservative media supports child sex trafficking. I can't see any other logical explanation for what I'm about to show you. I can't believe anyone else hasn't called this out yet.
Great talent, young, handsome, going places. You talk about defending, he's fantastic. Matt Gaetz.
Hey! Joining us now with reaction, author of the new book, Firebrand, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Joining us now to discuss, Matt Gaetz.
Congressman, thank you for being here.
Why is there one member of Congress from either party, from either chamber, one alone, who voted no, who voted against increasing law enforcement funding to combat child sex trafficking?
That's a very good question. Why would he vote no against adding laws to combat child sex trafficking? Why would he do that? If there's a valid reason, why was he the only one? So he does that, and then now we find out supposedly he's involved in child sex trafficking. The guy who Tim Pool, Stephen Krauser, Blaze TV, Ben Shapiro, Newsmax all refuse to call out. They're all protecting him. What do you call it when you know someone's done something very bad and you try to keep that information from getting out? You're a news channel. You're a political commentator. This is a major story. Even if you want to say innocent until proven guilty, which is correct, why wouldn't you cover it? And this is beyond just some frivolous accusations. This is an active investigation. Somebody's already in jail. There's a lot of evidence and facts. Give me one logical reason to not discuss this. I mean, at a minimum, criticize, this is what they do, the left. Criticize how the left-wing media, how they're covering this. Oh, they're partisans and they're going after Matt Gaetz and it's all about politics and they don't care about the child sex trafficking. What's a reason to not even go that angle? That's your brand. Tim Pool, Blaze TV, Ben Shapiro, Newsmax. That's your brand. Why would you be afraid to back up Matt Gaetz, cover Matt Gaetz, criticize how the liberal media is talking about it? Why would you do exactly what someone would do who wanted to protect Matt Gaetz? If you wanted to protect Matt Gaetz and you're Tim Pool, you're Blaze TV, what you'd want to do is keep your mouth shut. Because a lot of your audience are not watching liberal media, so they're not going to see all the details that are coming out. So as long as you keep your mouth shut, snitches don't get stitches. So why would these people want to protect someone who it looks like was involved in child sex trafficking? You talk about Hunter Biden's son, right? Hunter Biden, who was not running for president. You talk about Hunter Biden's son, and you want to show, censored whatever, the nude shots and him with the crack pipe and all this kind of stuff and the laptop. That was just a laptop, right? Drug use, Burisma stuff. This is, and that's a private citizen, this is someone in our government right now who might have been involved in child sex trafficking. The only reason not to discuss this from any angle at all whatsoever is if you want to protect him. Why is conservative media protecting a child sex trafficker if in fact that's what he is? Innocent until proven guilty. But you can't talk about that now. Did people wait for the Hunter Biden trial before talking about it? When there's scandals on the left, do they wait until the trial happens?
Trafficking.
Greenberg was indicted last summer on multiple federal charges, including sex trafficking. Greenberg and Gaetz are close associates.
While continuing to build their case against Greenberg, the feds dug up some dirt on Congressman Matt Gaetz.
I'm proud to be a Matt Gaetz supporter.
So let's take a look at conservative Twitter. We got all the usual suspects, as you can see in here. Political commentators, influencers. Matt Gaetz' forehead. So this is who in conservative Twitter are talking about Matt Gaetz. Still, Matt Gaetz is the main one talking about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz, nothing else. Why is Laura Ingram protecting a child sex trafficker. Why are all of these opinion folks on Fox News, why are they protecting this guy? The Hunter Biden hard-on crew, why are they protecting a potential child sex trafficker? Why is Tim Pool, Blaze TV, Ben Shapiro, why are they protecting a potential child sex trafficker? Unless they are okay with child sex trafficking. If you get a hard-on for Hunter Biden's laptop, a private citizen, but you have nothing to say about Matt Gaetz, clearly you are okay with the potential that he had sex with a minor and is still in our government. You want to talk about pancake syrup? You want to talk about Mr. Potato Head? You want to talk about Mandalorian? You want to talk about all this stuff? Oh, woke, child sex trafficking. You got nothing to say because you stand for nothing. You take a look at liberal Twitter. Of course, they're all over it. Brian Tyler Cohen's still on it. Jake Tapper, David Pakman, Washington Post. Why is this being hid from conservatives? Look at their channels. Fox News. Where's the Matt Gaetz stuff? Nothing. Newsmax. This is a major scandal. Where is it? All these leftists, the woke. Oh, woke. Oh, cancel culture. Pancake syrup. Oh, potato head. Child sex trafficking. Where's all this conservative values, Blaze TV? Where's this guy, Glenn Beck? Just absolutely disgusting. They need to hold Matt Gaetz accountable. If he did what they said he did, then they need to, the full extent of the law. This is not what conservatives stand for. I can't stand for it, and I want to see if he did this. If he did this, I want to see him in jail. I want to see, throw away the key. Where's all that, Mister? Oh, Tara Reid. Tim Pool, where you at, man? Where you at? You on this? Steven Crowder's YouTube channel was suspended. Oh, okay. So he did do a video. Matt Gaetz scandal erupts. This should be interesting to see what the comments are saying. I'm sure he's deflecting and hedging and the stuff he normally does.
Tucker Carlson recently interviewed GOP rep Matt.
So, of course, the FBI, you can't trust the FBI. Let's talk about Epstein and, right? So if this guy really is involved in child sex trafficking, we're not going to know because they want to talk about Clinton. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Except if it's somebody on the left like Hunter Biden. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden's stuff is still memory hold by FBI. They don't care. Tim Pool's audience does not care that Matt Gaetz might have been involved in child sex trafficking. They don't care. They're using this as a point to go and deflect and talk about Hunter Biden and whatever. Nobody cares. No one's saying, oh, this is disgusting and I hope he didn't do it, or Biden. Everyone, you see, they don't care. They're okay with child sex trafficking. No one here is disgusted with the idea that there might be someone in our government who's involved in child sex trafficking. Right? You can say whatever you want to say about Hunter Biden. Right? But what does it have to do with this? It's like one guy kills someone, and then we're talking about another guy who kills someone, and you have no reaction to that. There's no like, oh my goodness. Right? You're outraged about pancakes and you're outraged about Mr. Potato Head. But this Matt Gaetz thing? No, I don't really care about that. I care about, the FBI, you can't trust them, and, Hunter Biden laptop. If you really care about child sex trafficking, you would first be outraged by this. If you're outraged about syrup, you're going to be outraged about this. Steven Crowder, where's the Matt Gaetz videos? Where is it? He's reenacting putting a knee on someone's neck and putting up some funny poster of like George Floyd with an afro and mocking this. That's what he's doing. He don't care about the child sex trafficking, right? Crowder bits. Where's the Matt Gaetz? Nothing. And by the way, this is how much these people are disgusting. Because Everything I presented, there's no argument, there's no rebuttal to the facts that I'm presenting. Some of the really desperate ones, if you confront them with this, they're going to say, well, that's exactly what liberal media did with Hunter Biden. They completely blacked it out. Again, if you are disgusted by child sex trafficking, you will be disgusted by child sex trafficking. You won't care about, oh, well, the liberal media, when they didn't. Who cares about the Hunter Biden? Like, what does that have to do with this? It's like if you're walking and somebody punches your wife in the face, and instead of saying this is, being outraged about that, you're like, well, Hunter Biden. The fact that these people have no reaction, there's no outrage to child sex trafficking. Someone who's in government, not someone who's in government's son. He's actively in government. And Ben Shapiro is protecting him. Officer Tatum doesn't care about child sex trafficking. Project Veritas doesn't care about child sex trafficking. Where's your expose? You should have been the one to expose this. Why don't you go hook up with somebody who knows Matt Gaetz and get some hidden camera? They're not going to find. Like, were you at Project Veritas? You don't care. Conservative twins. Child sex trafficking. Nothing? Nothing. What about Rubin Report? Conservative values and morality. Nothing. Conservative media supports child sex trafficking. You can say I'm being hyperbolic, and I am, but you can't say that what I'm saying is not true. They either support it directly or indirectly. Directly, if they're actually okay with it, and therefore trying to protect someone that's involved in something they're okay with. That's either that's true, or that's direct support, or it's indirect support. By knowing that this guy looks like he was involved in child sex trafficking and actively not saying anything. You're in news, you're doing political commentary, and you make a decision to not discuss this, to limit how many people in the conservative world know the details of the story. You don't want your audience to know about this. Even if the reason is not that you support it directly, you are indirectly supporting it by keeping your mouth shut. Let me explain in another way so people can understand. If I were Matt Gaetz, what I would love that would help me out, because this is really bad, is if I could get the media, conservative media, to not cover it or cover it in a positive light. I'd rather them not cover it because I don't want it to get out. I want to contain the story, right? So that's what actively, and you probably the same thing, right? If you were Matt Gaetz, wouldn't you want conservative media to not cover the story? I mean, let's forget about Matt Gaetz. If you are being accused of a really disgusting crime, you killed someone, for example, wouldn't you want the media to not cover it so your name is not being blasted all over the place? Right? You'd want that to be kept secret as much as possible. That's what you would want. So conservative media is doing what Matt Gaetz would want. I'm sure he'd want beyond that, maybe them defending him, maybe not necessarily. But they're doing what someone in this situation would want. So they are protecting him by keeping the story, basically covering it up. Pretty much the same way liberal media protected Joe Biden from the stain of the Hunter Biden story and the Tara Reade story. However, even liberal media, they exposed Joe Biden about Tara Reade on MSNBC. Right? They didn't do a complete blackout like this. Steven Crowder, nothing. All these guys, nothing. Don't say anything. Even liberal media, who protected Joe Biden by crushing this story about Hunter Biden, even them, they didn't do 100% protection. They exposed Biden. They exposed Pelosi. No one in conservative media, other than, and I know that was probably like a hedging video or whatever, Tim Pool, that's what he does. And you see what the comments are. Conservative media definitively supports child sex trafficking. You don't have to support someone directly. You can support indirectly. Keeping the story out of the news protects Matt Gaetz. And if he's guilty of what they're saying he did, conservative media and the Republicans, because I checked that Twitter accounts I was checking, that includes senators. They are actively protecting a potential child sex trafficker indirectly or directly, but they are protecting him. This is the biggest, by far, the biggest blacklisted story I've ever seen.